My name is Lisa, and I work at Mass General Brigham, which is a large integrated healthcare delivery system headquartered in Boston. MGB is comprised of 12 different health systems, including an insurance company, and we are the largest private employer in Massachusetts. And so it's a wonderful place to work, and just it's so incredible to be around so many talented physicians day in and day out. I am a senior director of Analytics Enablement and data governance. And so my responsibilities include our business intelligence and data governance platform. We use Tableau and Calibra and do metadata management, business glossary, data dictionaries, data quality. And then more recently, I took over responsibility for master data management using Prophecy. What is our business problem? So we were approached by our marketing department at Mass General Brigham a short time ago with their interest in getting better data to support the need for setting up a new find a provider system. And the idea of this find a provider system is to allow patients to search and schedule appointments with a provider with various attributes, such as things like their specialty, disease condition, symptoms, location, things that many patients would just expect us to have already built. And what's surprising is that it had been attempted to create this kind of data foundation many times in the past, but it was a manual effort. People were using spreadsheets and crosswalks, and it was never really sustainable and often failed. So we knew we had to find a better way. What was our data problem? MGB is a large and complex organization with many different applications and platforms. We have data flying all over the place. Data gets created daily at different times, and it's not often complete in terms of the provider record. You can imagine things like provider names get misspelled or abbreviated, and it's often just incomplete. There's not even a guaranteed way to match providers across the enterprise. Why did we look to MDM to solve this problem? Well, we knew the manual effort was simply not scalable. And we liked the master data management concept because of the out-of-the-box capabilities to do things like match and merge, survivorship, get to that golden record quickly. And as we started thinking about our future state data ecosystem with our digital transformation, we knew we wanted to have an MDM component in the middle. Our strategy is to push this data to our enterprise data warehouse for broad consumption. And we could also see many different use cases for this kind of technology beyond the provider use case. Why did we select Prophecy? We had spoken to many of our peers across the country that were also large healthcare systems that had already implemented Prophecy and were a bit further ahead on their master data management journey. And we were really impressed with their ability to implement and get to a solution quickly. So we went with Prophecy based on their reputation and the testimonials we heard from our peers. How is the project going? The project is going really well. It's going great. In fact, we were able to get through phase 1 faster than marketing was even ready to accept the data with their system. The buzz around our organization is that people are excited. They've heard about MDM, they've seen the data, they've been able to use it with some of their data and analytic projects, and they're just thrilled with the direction that we're going. They keep thinking about more and more utilities for this data beyond the basic information that we have captured. So we keep expanding scope and the usefulness, things like adding different attributes to support our chief medical office and their ability to tie what they're doing to outcomes for our patients. And it really just helps us feel like we're impacting patient care. What are our future plans? We have a lot of plans. Given how excited people are, we feel like we want to completely deliver on this first use case because the provider domain is pretty expansive. And so we want to make sure we nail that before we tackle and expand our other opportunities. But you can imagine for an organization as large as ours that there's already talk about taking this capability and going to employees. It's a great time to do that as we're implementing Workday currently, thinking about our researchers. So not just the traditional provider physicians that we've started thinking about out of the gate. We also want to capture diagnostic and outcome information to support research. We have quite a large research program at MGB, and then just being able to help out with our pop health management group and thinking about how they look at our highest risk, highest cost patients. What have we learned and what might we do differently? You know, I think if I had that crystal ball, I would have hired our technical team and mobilized them a bit earlier. What we did was we got the contract done and then we started looking for resources, and that took a little bit of time in this market to recruit the right people. But by partnering with Prophecy Professional Services, we were able to get our infrastructure set up on time and hit our MVP deliverable, which was pretty short. It was about 54 business days from the time we stood up the platform to when we went live. Additionally, I think it's really important to have that executive sponsorship. Without it, I don't know if we would have been as successful, if we would have been able to move as quickly as we did, because we really needed to enlist the help of others. This was really a cross-functional team that made this project so successful. And I think without that sponsorship, we would have struggled a bit. You know, how I would advise others is, I think this is sometimes difficult for stakeholders to conceptualize. So anything you can do to illustrate the problem. In our case, we actually took a provider sample from the website and just showed how she looked based on how she actually practiced and what the variance was. And that was a really powerful, compelling example. So I think anything you can do to help illustrate not only what the problem is you're trying to solve, but how you're going to solution it will help just enlist the support you need to be successful. What excites me about MDM is just the fact that it wasn't that difficult to accomplish, despite the fact that I don't know if I had a lot of folks supporting me when we first, came around and said what our plan was to get this done. They kind of told me, "Hey, Lisa, this has been done before. Good luck to you, but you're never gonna succeed, basically." So I think it was a bit daunting when we got started, which was also during the summertime, and it was a little difficult to get the folks that we needed to in a room to discuss our plans. But I think once we did and we started to show those artifacts on what our framework would be for making decisions and explain that this was not only a technology project, but it was also a large project in operational governance, then we were able to win them along. And I think the reflection I have today is to just, be assertive and keep progressing and move forward until you get success.